I'm back. It's been so long since I last vlogged for you guys. Sorry for the delay. As I tried to tell you last week, I was busy doing some magazine stuff, and then last week I tried to upload a vlog, and the new editing software that I'm using exported it at 7.5 frames a second, so it looked like I was kind of doing the robot at you for 7 minutes. So sorry about that, but this one is going to be better. It's going to be hopefully really interesting for you guys who love your golf equipment. I've been super busy, got loads going on which I'm going to tell you all about, but in this vlog we're talking about the biggest equipment mistakes you can make. Got some really interesting ones for you. Hopefully you don't fall foul of any of them. I'm sure you don't, but maybe you know someone who does, and you can pass on this information to them. So let's get on with the vlog. So what I went up to? Well, on Saturday I played golf for the Burley Park Golf Club A team, which is my home club, in Beast from the East Mark II, which was really fun. -6 degrees wind chill, got drawn up against an ex-pro who decided to make birdies for fun, lost 5 and 4, and it was definitely the least enjoyable round of golf I've ever played. It was just horrendous. It was so cold. I had 3 pairs of trousers on. I could still feel some chill on my legs. Oh, it was just grim. But anyway, did you play golf last weekend? If you did, fair play to you, because where I was, it was brutal. Struggling to find somewhere to vlog for you because I've got so much stuff everywhere. I've got a new sofa. Oh, yes please. As you can see, got a new camera. Oh, hello. New camera with a new jobby. Massive memory card. Nice little camera bag there. So hopefully the videos for you guys will be even better. Look at that. Expensive bit of kit. Yes, I am wearing a jacket inside because it's very cold. Right, mistake number 1 comes down to these. These are wedges, and a lot of you guys get them wrong. The biggest mistake I see comes down to the loft of wedges. So, for example, golfers will have a set of irons, and within that set of irons there will be some wedges. Obviously, all sets come with a pitching wedge, but a lot of them come with a sand wedge as well. And that sand wedge will be 56 degrees normally, whereas the pitching wedge will be anywhere between 44 and 46 degrees. So that's 10 to 12 degrees of difference in loft. Now, if you don't fill that gap with a gap wedge, for example, 52 degrees, you are leaving a massive gap of distance that isn't going to be covered when you're hitting shots into greens, and it makes it very difficult to judge distance and how far to hit the shots, how far to take off your pitching wedge. So make sure you have even gaps between the lofts of your wedges. I carry a 46 degree pitching wedge, and then a 50, a 54 and a 58. So nice 4 degree gaps there through the set. Means I can cover off all the distances as long as I know how far they go. Remember, these shots are really important when you're trying to make the most of a good drive, or you've just chipped out the trees and you need to make par with a good wedge shot. You know, these are really important, and having even loft gaps is the way to do that. The other thing about talking about wedges is the grooves. So a lot of golfers will continue to use wedges beyond their lifespan when they should actually be changing them. So I think Tyler's done some research that after 100 rounds, the spin from the grooves on wedges reduces dramatically. Obviously, it depends how much you practice as well. If you practice a lot of wedge shots around the green, they're going to wear out even quicker. So you really should be changing your wedges at least every couple of years, ideally around 18 months really, because you will see a significant drop off in spin in that time period. Obviously some models spin more than others and are more durable than others. They say the black finishes, like the ones I've got here on this Pin Glide 2.0 Stealth, is more durable, so the kind of grooves should last a bit longer. But generally speaking, you really should be looking to change them between 18 months and 2 years, because otherwise you will see balls kind of just popping off the face a little bit, not launching quite as low, you'll see the ball running out a lot more on the greens. And in the summer, when you really need that backspin to stop the ball on firm greens, if you've not got relatively fresh grooves, you're not going to get that, and it's going to be very difficult to get up and down from the short side if you tend to leave yourself there a lot. Now the mistake number 2 I see comes down to these. This is a golf glove, as you can see. Now this is one I actually fall foul of, to be fair. I am guilty of not looking after my golf glove after a round, which is silly really, because if you don't, then golf gloves, they're not cheap. You know, if you're buying a FootJoy glove, you know, one of the more premium leather ones, yeah, I think they're costing 15 quid a time. And because they are leather, they don't last especially long. So any way that you can maximise the lifespan of your glove, I think, is really important. And obviously there's a performance benefit of having a glove that is in good condition. It should allow you to have better control of the golf club during the swing. Obviously that feeling of sliding a new golf glove on is really nice. It kind of just feels really soft. It allows you to gain a nice feel of the golf club, gives you extra control, and it's, if you want to have that feeling for longer, you really need to look after your gloves. So obviously make sure you get the right size, try it on. We've got a golf video on the Golf Monthly website telling you all about how to get the right size of golf glove. But after your round, what you really should be doing is just making sure that the leather isn't kind of compacted in any way, so kind of stretch it out a bit, make sure it's all nice and loose. Obviously take it off, do the Velcro up, and then put it back into that shape that it came in, so that kind of shape there with the thumb folded down. Slide it back into the packet and put it back in your golf bag. That should help maximise the lifespan of your glove. Make sure you don't dry them on really hot places like a radiator. Just leave them out to dry. If they do get wet, like I said, just put them on, stretch the fingers out to make sure the leather's all nice and loose. Just dry it naturally, let the air dry it, and put it back in the packet afterwards, and that should allow the glove to last a little bit longer, save you a bit of money, and you'll also get better performance for longer as well. Right, the next mistake golfers make with their golf equipment comes down to these. I think you know what this is. This is a golf ball, and the biggest mistake amateurs make with this, I mean, the common complaint that amateurs have with their game, they go to a lesson, what do they want to do? They want to be more consistent. Well, consistency for me starts with the golf ball. If you use a different golf ball every time you play, you're going to set yourself up for disaster. The ball is going to behave differently, whether it's off the tee, around the greens. You know, the amount of times I've lost count people who just hit a bad shot, lose a ball, reach the bag, pull out another one. It's a completely different golf ball. Consistency comes from how the ball reacts around the greens, how it feels, how it flies. And if you're using different types of golf ball, you're not setting yourself up to be a more consistent golfer. So what I would really recommend is find a ball that you like, find a ball that really suits your preferences in terms of budget, because budget is really important when it comes to golf balls. So find a ball that gives you the performance that you're looking for at a price that you can afford, and really invest in it. So practice with it, play with it, and I think over a longer period of time you'll gain a bigger understanding about how that ball performs, the trajectory that it offers you from different shots, how it spins around the greens, how it flies around the greens. And over time you will become a more consistent player if you use the same golf ball over and over again. Jesus Christ. Looks like the Beast from the East Mark II has had its say on my driving range mat. That looks very sorry, doesn't it? Now, another mistake people make with their golf gear is their grips. Now, I know grips aren't very sexy or interesting, but obviously they are your only point of connection with the club, so it really does make sense to kind of look after them. And Golf Pride, one of the major grip manufacturers, recommends that you change them between a year and 18 months or 40 rounds, depending on how much you play. Now, this is an old 7-iron I've got. I've been using it to practice with here. I've had it for a while. It's the S55 model from Ping, so it's an old club. You can't really see it on this camera angle, but I can see that it's getting a little bit shiny. The kind of groove indents are kind of worn away a little bit. and I can tell straight away that I'm losing a little bit of control with the golf club. Just feels a little bit more slippy, and that's the thing with worn grips. You lose out on that control. You tend to grip the club a little bit tighter, you get more tension in your arms. It affects your consistency of ball striking and also your club head speed as well. So if you're playing once, even twice a week, you know, you really do need to look to get your grips changed every year. And that should improve your overall control of the golf club. Golf Pride have done some tests where golfers have used their old grips compared to new grips for a round. They did see that their scoring actually improved with the new grips. So it's definitely something you should think about for 2018. Get your grips changed, and you should get better control of the golf club, more consistency, and hopefully lower scores as well. Next is drivers, and specifically any driver that is smaller than 460 cc's. Now this isn't a knock on, for example, ping. I know I've done a recent video where I tested the G Max driver up against the G400 driver, and quite frankly the G400 Max was better across the board than the original G400, which is 445 cc. So I didn't notice any drop off in club head speed by switching from a 445 cc driver to a 460 cc driver, the maximum allowed by the rules of golf. Whether that's the same for you is debatable. Some golfers might see an increase in club head speed when they switch down into a smaller driver, but for me, I didn't experience that. And also, you need to consider what that extra volume gives you. It gives you better preservation of ball speed and accuracy on miss hits because the head is larger, it's more stable, it's not twisting as much. So even if you do gain a little bit of club head speed by switching down into a smaller volume driver, you might actually lose out on distance because of the lack of stability. So for me, you're not really gaining anything by having a driver that isn't 460cc. Obviously some players like to really shape the ball, and a smaller headed driver might give them the workability that they need, but the modern golf ball is very difficult to shape these days. For me, there's not a considerable advantage of using a smaller headed driver than the 460cc volume head. So if you're using one at the moment, I know a lot of older drivers tended to be smaller in volume. You really need to think about switching to a 460cc driver. It's more forgiving, you're going to get more consistently long performance and accuracy as well. It's going to be more enjoyable to hit because it's going to be more forgiving. So it's something you really need to consider if you're using a smaller headed driver. Right, so that ends today's vlog. Hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully you haven't fallen foul of any of those equipment mistakes that I talked about. If you do, make sure you get them sorted out ahead of the season. But thanks for watching, and as a reward for one of you, we'll be giving away this G4 golf glove as worn by Bubba Watson. Well, he didn't wear this one specifically, but it's the type that he wears. Comment on the video, let me know which mistake you fall foul of, and are you bothered about it? Are you going to change it this year? What mistakes do you see golfers make out on the golf course with their equipment? There's been some shockers that I've seen this year. Let me know what shockers you've seen, and one of you will be getting this golf glove, so let me know. Like the video if you like it, subscribe if you haven't already, but for now, it's goodbye.